A few weeks ago, Gaddafi was still in control here in Tripoli, and I think what the world has seen is frankly an impressive transformation. Of course, there will be difficulties ahead and many things that have to be fixed, but the fact that already your roads are full again of traffic, your water is flowing, your hospitals are working, this is impressive. And I'm proud of the role that Britain played in helping you to do this, and I'm even more proud, having seen what I've seen today, of the impressive changes you are making. But this was your revolution, not our revolution. It was those brave people in Misrata, in Benghazi, in Brega, in Zlitan, in Tripoli, in the Nafusa Mountains, who were incredibly brave in removing the dreadful dictatorship of Gaddafi. And I pay tribute to those people throughout Libya today. It is your revolution, it is their bravery that has enabled this to happen. But let us be clear, this is not finished. This is not done, this is not over. There are still parts of Libya that are under Gaddafi's control. Gaddafi is still at large, and we must make sure this work is completed. We must keep on with the NATO mission until civilians are all protected and until this work is finished. We will help you to find Gaddafi and to bring him to justice. And we also want to help you to take the dangerous weapons out of Libya, whether that is surface-to-air missiles, whether it is the mines that will prove such a problem to your people. And today Britain is committing itself to helping you with taking mines out of Libya. On the humanitarian situation, my country has done a great deal. Right from the start, airlifting civilians from the border, providing medicines, providing food. I know now, having seen your excellent hospital in Tripoli with the incredible work that it's doing, there is still a need for very specialized medical help. And Britain stands ready to provide help and to take some of the most complicated cases that need the most complex surgery, all agreed to be paid by Libya, but using some of our specialist techniques and hospitals, and we are happy to provide that. And I hope we can start with that young schoolboy, Abdul Malik Ahmed, who was wounded by a grenade that was left in his school. There's no doubt in my mind that Libya can be a great success story. The first thing you have asked us for is to unfreeze the assets that belong anyway to the Libyan people. We have already started that process, returning the Libyan dinars that were printed in Britain. We have already unfrozen £1 billion worth of assets. But if we can pass the UN resolution that we will be putting forward with France tomorrow, there's a further 12 billion of assets in the UK alone that we will be looking to unfreeze. As Nicola has said, we want to help you diplomatically, militarily, economically, and with your development. We are your friends, but this is your country, your leadership, your plan. We stand ready to help, but we want to know what it is you most want us to do. This does go beyond Libya. This is a moment when the Arab Spring could become an Arab summer, and we see democracy advance in other countries too. And I believe you have the opportunity to give an example to others about what taking back your country can mean.